meant to shut you up. The sign language is meant to deflect you. There are some women that are there are women that are so angry that men are finally stand up and saying, "Let's have a conversation about what you need to do better in this regard." Men always are being told. Men have always been told you got to do something. You have women who are so angry that you even have the nerve to ask the question. Think about it. That you even have the nerve to ask the question. Look at some of the responses. They want you to stay in your place. That ain't going. That ain't going. That's not going to work. Grind with Guam. I don't know you. So let me see this real quick. So as we wait for people to join back in, um, as I was saying, that you want to end up having a situation to where we're only trying to talk to about the 80% of people who really want to try to have a better outcome, not the people who had their mind made up. All right, we'll try it. Not the people who have their mind made up, the people who are really willing to sit down and have a conversation. Say,
Good
hello,
evening, Mr. Samuels. How are you?
I am well. Let me turn these comments up so they won't be scrolling on your face. How are you?
I'm doing amazingly well. Thanks so much for asking.
Good. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 38.
All right. So we're talking about getting versus keeping. What do you got?
So I feel that it's a level of maturity when you get that mental, it's having substance. It's like, I feel like this generation, if I can be completely honest, we're getting worse. We're getting worse. It's getting worse.
Okay.
When you finally get to a level of no longer wanting to be seen and being strategic behind that to understand how important your arrival is. I'm Spanish, Portuguese, and Black. So I've went
Okay.
through that stage of my life of being in my teens, thinking I knew it all, using my body, using my entitlement. Um, and to be where I am now, I'm glad that I took that time of that solitude. I think that young ladies are not understanding how important solitude and isolation is
I
to
want to
be
ask you.
able to
I want to
go
ask you
ahead.
something about something you said that, and I've been thinking about it while you were talking. Getting to the point to where you don't need to be seen. What do you mean
Yes.
when you say that? Because I know what I think. What do you mean?
When I'm being seen, I think that for myself, that's what when you're a product of your environment for so long, where you just feel that you're going to remain that until you actually take the time to get around individuals. It's kind of like going the extra mile because it's never crowded. Getting up earlier in the morning to be less frustrated with your maneuver throughout the day. Like there's ways that you can go about that. So as far as being seen, for myself being raised, in LA, Inglewood, California, it was more so like I was a product of my environment until I chose that I didn't want that anymore because I didn't like how I viewed myself. But to everybody else, I finessed my way
I,
and,
I
had
think
it all together.
I think what I was thinking is not wanting to be seen is go all. You're 30. How old? 38.
38.
Okay, so this world existed before you did. A world before social media, where women had to live for their neighborhood or their community. Women were more. They cared more about their appearance to men and women around them. And today it seems like women are doing a lot of stuff for the gram, for the
I have
net.
to say that I totally agree. I
So
totally agree.
so
But
what
I've
would you
also been
go
that
ahead?
lady that
Well,
I've also been that woman that has did it for the gram because
is that
you
your
know,
career though?
I'm a trainer. I'm a personal trainer. So, but it was personal trainer coming from being broken, taking time to finally heal that brokenness. So I feel like I've always been that person too to feel like, well, why I can't keep a man? Why am I'm praying for a good man, but am I a good woman? That's me now going into getting
Well,
older because I chose that mentally.
I think a big portion would be if women really would. I don't deal with women who have active social media. And if you're a personal trainer, I can see why social media uh, would be a part of your life because people want to see the product. But personal trainers existed before social media. Do you have any children?
Absolutely. Yes, I do. 20 and 14.
You got started young.
Yes.
Um, are you seeing anyone seriously right now?
Absolutely not. Not at this current time in my life. I think I
You,
needed that time to heal first.
do you have daughters or sons?
My daughter is 20 and my son is 14, who is also
Okay.
autistic. So my level of
Okay.
thinking is completely different now.
So, did you raise your daughter? How? What do you talk to? What do you say to your daughter about dating?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Mr. Samuels.
What
My
do you,
apologies.
how are you discussing dating and relationships with your daughter at 20 years old?
I think that it's more being realistic and knowing that I can't watch her 24/7. So giving her the harsh reality of life. If you want to enjoy your life, you're going to need to grasp everything that you can as of this
Are
moment, like
are
now.
you are you are you are you are you coaching your daughter to be single or a wife?
We're having like poor connection.
Improves it. Hello. All right. I don't know. Sometimes though. So are you coaching your daughter to be a wife or a modern woman?
I want my daughter to understand the importance of trying to be somebody's wife in this day and age, in this era. It's
What does
very
that mean?
scary.
What does that
So
mean?
for me it means being realistic that we do hold the power, and it's not just from, excuse my language, it's not from the pussy. It's
What do you
it's
mean?
not
Okay.
it's not
Okay.
just
Now I'm starting. Okay. Okay. You hold the power, meaning women.
women. We do hold the power. We can reset the tone and the bar, like
I
over
don't.
our existence. And go ahead.
Women own the power of what, though?
Over our existence. So how we maneuver, we make choices within a 24-hour period.
Of course.
Everybody has the same choices. They're given the same choices within a 24-hour period across the globe. And what people choose to do with those 24 hours, it sets you up for what's next. So that's
Well,
how I talk to my daughter.
okay. So what I'm not hearing is you're giving your daughter any clear instructions on what to do regarding a man.
Clear instructions, how one
Yeah. Do
receives.
you? No. No. Okay. Let's just talk like we're 4 years old. I got a 20-year-old, 21 year old daughter, and I very much have given her the instructions on not being a single woman for the rest of her life.
Absolutely. That's very important.
So she knows her father and my mindset, and I'm asking you as a mother, the way you move through life is your choices, but it's her. Because I didn't ask about her dad, but I'm asking, are you coaching her to be a single woman or a modern woman or a wife? And I haven't heard one or the
Absolutely a
other. I
wife.
just kind of
But
okay,
I need
okay.
her to love herself first before trying to go out there and trying to love or find love. You need to love yourself first.
Marriage
So
ain't about
coaching
love.
her to,
Marriage is not about love.
it's a lot of things, Mr. Samuels. It's not just
But
about love.
no, but it's not. But see, one of the things because I'm hearing modern woman, traditional woman, I'm hearing a lot of inner splicing, and this is part of the problem that women have. They don't talk directly to young women. That's why they come listen to me because I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Young women are coming over here because women your generation aren't being clear. Go find a man, baby girl. You need a man in this world to live life with because 90% of us are not going to be, 94% of us are not going to be over six-figure earners. Most of us are going to be middle income earners, and you're not going to be able to get through life on one income. You're going to need somebody to get through the
You
end of
need
life. Or
multiple streams of income.
no,
Absolutely.
it's called, you need a husband, not multiple streams, a husband.
No, that would be part of the
Most
goal
no,
that you
most
would
women
know.
need a
Absolutely.
husband. A husband, not a stream
You,
of income,
so
and
we're
a
not
husband.
disagreeing with
What
you.
I'm saying, but the thing is, we're not telling women that they need a man. It's a stream of income. A man, not a stream of income.
You
A man.
absolutely do. I am totally agreeing with you. But see,
Okay,
how one receives something versus how one delivery is, that seems so that's why there's levels of perspectives from individuals. This is
one
how
we
we
say, okay,
continue.
okay.
So this is how we heal, Mr.
Okay,
Samuels.
hold on, hold on.
This
What
is
you're
how we
saying?
heal. You have to allow
Hold on,
people their
hold on,
brokenness.
hold on. No, I don't have to allow anything. I have to, your brokenness is your problem. It's like my brokenness is my problem. When we come out to
Absolutely.
this world, you need
But
to
when we're
be.
motivators
Oh, no,
and
no, no,
inspiring
no, no,
people,
no, 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 no,
nah,
no,
you
no.
come on
You
now.
can't
You
overtalk me
got
in
to
my
keep it
platform. You can't overtalk me in my platform. Now I'm trying to be
with all
polite,
due
man.
respect,
Oh
Mr.
no, no, all
Samuels.
due respect. Please don't overtalk me. That's one thing I don't do. I've
So
let
one
you
thing
go.
is
I've
body
let you flow.
language.
I've let you flow.
Okay.
And if you're gonna
We
overtalk me,
both did it because
I
that's how
will
you hold
bid you. I will
dialogue.
bid you a good night. I feel sorry for your daughter. I do. I mean, I try to listen, but this is what you get. All this psychobabble bullshit. Psychobabble bullshit. You need to do this. You need to do that. Are you teaching your daughter to be a modern woman or a wife? I'm teaching her to be a wife. You're not teaching her to be a wife because you can't even cooperate with a man on this platform. I let that woman talk, blah, 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 and what do you get? When I try to interject, no, we got to keep it real. I ain't got to keep shit. You keep that on your platform. That is why so many women today are by themselves. She talked about multiple streams of income as if modern women are going to have, it is hard enough to have one stream of income. This is what's wrong with our community. They are telling women to get out here and be fucking men. Young lady, I hope you realize that unless you're going into science, engineering, technology, and math, to some sort of profession, unless you're going to be some sort of high five-figure, low six-figure earner where you can replace two incomes, you will need a man to get from one point of life to another because you cannot get to the end of life on one income. And to try to do it by yourself is an overloading of a woman. That is why so many of our women today are masculine. So many of our women are hardened. So many of our women cannot even cooperate in a fucking conversation because they got their dick out all the time trying to act like a man. You're not a man. Um, yeah, that just doesn't work. That won't work. It will not work. And this is why young women are coming over to the men's platforms and men's side of content because they're getting confusing, gobbledygook messages from them from these women. Blah 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 blah. Well, what's the answer? Well, what's this? What's the well? You need to. What's so? Do I need to have a husband or not? Well, you need to know your mind and love yourself first. Do I need a husband or not? Well, you need to understand your chakra and heal your brokenness. Do I need a husband or not? Well, you need to understand that you need to have multiple streams of income. Fuck out of here. You need a husband. Why is it so hard to tell women? That, hello,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good and you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 28.
Okie dokie. We're talking about keeping versus getting, or getting versus keeping.
Okay.
Let's do this. What do you got?
Well, I feel like in the black community, us black women, we definitely have a problem with being vulnerable and being submissive when the time is right with a guy. So it's hard to keep somebody when you're constantly bucking at them. You can't let a man be a man and you're trying to take that role as well. So I agree with that.
Were you raised with your mother and father, or just were you raised with one parent like most of us?
Um, in the beginning, for my first couple of years, it was my mom and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then they separated. So it was more of a
I mean,
co-parenting type thing.
and do you have any siblings?
Yeah, two older brothers and now two younger sisters.
Okay, so would you like to be married one day?
Yeah.
Are you sure? You're like, yeah.
It's I only say it like that because again in today's day and age it's very complicated. Not a
Ah,
lot of people are getting serious like that.
see, I am always my bullshit detector goes off on high alert when I hear women say into this day and age.
Why?
Because you're evolutionary evolved to be what you are, regardless of the day and age. Can a female of the species survive without the group? No. Women need men.
I agree.
So is it that you don't want to be married? Or are you afraid
I'm afraid to get married again because of,
that? So what are you afraid of?
I wouldn't say the trials and tribulations, but that is part of it
Okay.
because
Okay.
I've
What
seen what
when
my
you
mom went through,
okay.
and
Now
I've always based off like what,
what
as
they
I was
went through,
growing up, I wanted to do the opposite and become the opposite
do
and kind
you
of.
now without getting too personal,
Hmm.
were your mother and father's situation money motivated? Were they like the most people? Or was there like domestic violence where there was really violence or drugs or anything involved?
Um, I could say it was a mixture of financial problems,
Okay.
and also infidelity.
Okay. Due respect, this is why I think women go wrong. I said it before, that's none of your child's place. How do
It's
you
really
know any?
not. I
But
I
how do you know? But my thing is, unless you walked in on your mother or
mm-mm,
father with somebody, you wouldn't know they're cheating. If there
mm-mm.
are money problems, why do you know if they didn't share that with you?
And I was gonna say that unfortunately it was shared with me, and I did not ask for that
Which
information.
parent does your mother share with you?
Mm-mm.
Your
My dad.
father did?
Hmm.
Okay. Um, and see, this is the burden of sharing this kind of stuff with kids. You said they were co-parents. Did your
Yeah.
mother remarry?
No, my dad married definitely,
Okay.
but my
So
mom didn't.
so the person that who had infidelity, which is your father or your mother?
It was my dad.
Okay. But he remarried.
Yeah,
How did you find out about the infidelity? Who told you that?
my dad.
Okay. Did he tell you that is the reason that they're no longer married?
Hmm.
All right. So I'll give a little leeway. A parent has to give a reason why the kids are divorced. I wouldn't give gone to that level of detail, but your father remarried. Your mother, did you ever see her date anybody?
Yeah, and
No or yes?
I did. I definitely did, and that was kind of the problem for me growing up. Was
Meaning her boyfriends?
what I seen. It wasn't a great example. So
Okay.
I tried to just do the opposite of what I seen, and
Okay.
or
Well,
try to steer away from what it.
one big problem is people of this generation involve kids and grown folks' business, and they put you. At, so this
Exactly.
is where therapy comes into it. But here's the reality: your mother and father's problems don't sound like anything that you can't find in any neighborhood in this world,
Exactly.
or any time period in history. If you don't get married, 28. Did you go to college?
Yes.
What's your degree in?
Business administration. I'm
Okay.
going for my bachelor's next.
Okay. So what are you planning on doing for a profession?
I want to work in a recording label, as in the
Okay.
marketing team. That's what I'm
It's
going for my
more.
bachelor's for marketing and
Okay, so
communication.
how much money? How much do you think you will earn annually at the height of your career?
At the height, I would hope at least over 50,000 a year. I would hope.
Okay, I ran a simulation that if a woman was working a job making $50,000 a year from 25 to age 55,
Mm,
no stops, no breaks, and received a cost of living raise 3% every year, 25 to 65, and she retired at 65
mm,
and had a life expectancy to 85. That means she had to live 20 years. That woman would have a shortfall of almost $800,000 in her retirement. It's going to take $2.9 million to live from 65 to 85. What I'm
True.
saying, young lady, is you're going to college and doing all this work to get a middle income job. And if you don't marry, who's going to pay your bills and help you in your golden years if you don't have a husband, insurance, children? Because dogs can't do it and girlfriends can't
Yeah,
do
no.
it. So the fear of being married, marriage, I need you and I need women to hear. If you are an average earner, marriage is not an option. It is a necessity. And it has been marketed to you as an option to be chosen to not do out of fear. Well, then what's the option after you're 45 and you're just making $50,000 a year? That ain't no money.
Yeah, no, it's not. So I know I completely agree. I believe in there needs to be a man in the house and there needs to be gender roles. I believe in all of that. It's
But
just
if you're scared,
scary.
I don't know what should be scary
Is
is
doing
you
it
eating.
alone.
No, what should be scary is trying to live from 65 to 85. You will need $2.9 million.
Yeah,
I need you to understand how big of a number that is. Older women, older people cost more.
true.
Your insurance, your medications, all these things, you cost more. So what should be scary is the notion of if I don't have a husband, then what are you going to do?